Hi, my name is Coach Martin Gooden. Today, I'm very honored to have on the Martin Gooden High Performance podcast a gentleman who is an amazing person. Not only is he the former British, European, and Commonwealth and IBO boxing champion, he is a performance coach as well as a leading author and a exceptional motivation speaker. None other than the man himself, Mr. Billy Sh-werr.
Let's
How are you,
get
Billy?
ready to rumble. Let's get it on, Martin. It's great to be with you, my friend. You are a superstar. So thank you.
Wow, amazing, Billy. I must say, thank you for getting involved on the podcast today. There's going to be a lot of information what I know you're going to share, what's going to help and inspire a lot of people. I've seen what you do. I've read the information in the book, and I know you've got a lot of information to share with people. So the first one I'm going to ask you, Bill, is what have you actually been doing today to start your day? You know, there's a mindset what normally goes on with successful people. Okay, and what I want you to do is share with us firstly how you've started your day and what you've actually done so far to kind of get your mindset in the right frame of mind.
Brilliant. So what I'd like to do and what I'd like to offer your people is how to have a good day starts the night before. So
Right.
go to bed, and if there's anything that's unresolved that you can get resolved, any
Yeah.
upsets that you can disappear or park up or put to one side, whatever you need to do, such that you can have a
Yeah.
good night's sleep. So if you've got a good sleep, you're rested, you awaken. Now, today I had a little bit of a lie-in. I got up at 7 a.m. because I go
Okay.
on how I feel. I'm a very feely person. So
Right.
I would wake up at 5 a.m. I start to drink water. I have a litre of water pretty
First thing
much.
in the
I
morning.
have a
Yeah.
First thing in the morning. I have half a liter, then I have another half a liter. I will go and meditate. I will then maybe do some breath work. I will
Yes.
then read. I will do a bit of reading. I will then maybe exercise, not all the time.
Yes.
I've got a kind of daily method of operation that I stick to, but I'm not religious. I do it 80% of the time. Most of the
Okay.
time, I do it all the time, but I
Yeah.
don't beat myself up if I don't do, and I don't, the creative day that if I don't fulfill on it and get it all exactly right, I'm okay with that as well. Because I
Okay. Okay.
believe if we do 80%, I have an 80-20 rule.
Right.
If you structure your life, the goals that you want to achieve, where you're moving towards, and if you've got a daily method of operation and you stick to that 80% of the time, you're going to eventually get there.
Right.
And it's
Okay.
allowing a bit of movement because there are unforeseen things happening. Stuff
True.
happens. We get set back. We get things get stalled a little bit, and we have to yeah, just just re-look at what we're doing each day.
Okay.
But it's going to,
Right.
if you can go to bed in a good mood,
Right.
that's the
You'll
key.
normally wake up in a good mood. Is that correct?
Right, okay,
Especially when
because you're
you're,
setting the tone.
yeah.
You're setting the
Especially,
tone for your subconscious to embrace the good feelings that you have. And even while you're going to sleep, you could almost, another exercise that I kind of get people to do is look at three things that you've succeeded in today.
right.
And you can come up with three things. And then the next day you can wake up in the morning and go, right, what are those three things that I succeeded in yesterday? Okay, because that sets the tone. I'm happy
Yeah.
with that. And then you can always go, right, what three things am I going to succeed at today?
Right.
And then
Okay.
because rather than having a huge list, you can have a big list, but if you get through a few of those things, then you can be happy with your progress.
Yeah. It can be overwhelming when you have this big to-do list and you may only get through two in a day and you think that you've not really achieved nothing when really it is a big achievement, as you've said, probably doing two things out of a small list. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
makes a lot of
yeah. So
sense.
it's like, so it's just looking at of an evening time, just reassess your day, Do I need to do anything different tomorrow? And we know in our hearts what if we're on track.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
So
can't we
Billy,
can't lie to ourselves.
true, true. Good words there, yeah. So Billy, can you tell me how, you started your boxing career? How did you get involved in the sport of the sweet science? Because I do understand that obviously your father was a Irish boxing champion. So, where did it all start? How did you get involved in boxing? What was your main drivers to get you involved in this amazing sport?
So the driver that had me become a champion was very interesting. So then my
Yeah,
dad was a boxer, as you mentioned. He was the Irish featherweight champion. He also
featherweight.
boxed for England when he came over. So back in those days, you could he
Yeah,
could represent England and Ireland.
yeah,
So
yeah,
he was a boxer. But
yeah.
what fascinates me about why do people do what they do? Why do some people succeed more than others in what they do? So what's
Right.
driving our behavior? What's driving our thoughts, our feelings moving towards somewhere? So what had me become a champion was
Yeah.
not that my dad was a boxer. It was
Right.
because I was bullied as a child. So I was bullied, and in those moments, unconsciously, I made a decision. I decided that nobody was ever going to beat me, dominate me, or hurt me, or get on top of me ever again.
Right.
I decided that I was weak. No, I didn't know that. So it's subconsciously. So I'm there as a 5-year old, 8-year old. I started boxing when I was 8 years of age.
Yeah.
The story I had about myself that I was weak. So
Right.
boxing was a perfect fit for me to prove I wasn't weak.
Can I ask you a
So
question
then
there,
all,
Billy?
yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Not cutting you off, but was the voice? Obviously you got your inner voices telling you things what sometimes we have to go against. Okay. Was it actually any external apart from the bullies? What was giving you a lot of negative that you can't do this and you can't do that, or you are weak, or no? That was
No,
what you were telling
no, I didn't
yourself.
have none of that. So we have the little voice in our heads. We're conscious of that sometimes. That's what
Yeah.
I call mental boxing. It's the internal conflict. That's the mental boxing match we're having with ourselves. So there
Yeah.
are there are the voice that we're consciously aware of, but then there's also a deeper voice that we're unconsciously not aware of.
Yeah.
Which, like me, the decision that I made was unconscious, that I was weak. I
Right.
didn't know I
Okay.
made that decision. It's only from the work that I've done after the fact that I've gone back and I've discovered, oh, those are the things that had me be that way. Because I had to go backwards on a journey to discover who Billy the Boxer was.
Right.
Because
Okay.
the winning traits that had me be a success in the boxing ring, I found later in my life
Right.
had me fail in my personal life. So as a boxer, I'm aggressive, I'm domineering, I'm selfish, I'm
Yeah.
inconsiderate, I'm always right, I'm rah rah rah,
Right.
fight to
Okay.
the death, right? So that
Yeah.
works in the boxing arena, but it
Yes.
doesn't work in life.
In life. Yeah.
Ask my ex-wife, she'll tell you. And it just didn't work, but I didn't know how to be any other way, because I was
Right.
always Billy the Boxer from a kid of 8 years of age. So the people listening to this, for what I'm sharing, I want you to really start to just inquire into yourself and just consider who you are as a part of who you are, but it's not who you are as a whole, complete person.
Yeah.
There's different parts to us.
Yeah.
So once you start to unravel, which I've done, I've unraveled, I've pulled back all the layers of my identity so I could really discover who Billy was. Because when I
Right.
retired from boxing, I was no longer Billy the Boxer. I had to let that part of me go, which I found very, very difficult.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
we hear about that transition from athletes, not only athletes, there's people coming out of the services, police. It's those kind of people we struggle with the loss of identity because we think we are that. We get
Yeah.
so attached to it. But then it's the realization of, oh, that's not who I am. And I really struggled through that transitional period. It was
Yeah,
tough,
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
tough.
You know what you're saying there, Billy. A lot of people have asked me, have I ever struggled with going? Obviously, I wasn't as successful as I'd like to have been in the that side, but I've been successful in the side of mentoring and coaching. So I realized that although I may not have been as successful as other people, okay, like yourself, the fact that I could transition and take all my knowledge, what I learned from my years of being involved in sport, and now I can work with people in the sense of, okay, what I learned, and I'm able to pass down knowledge to younger people my own age and middle aged. It's amazing that is my motivation. That is my purpose. That is my kind of, you know what? I feel so good inside my heart that I'm able to share what I know, what I've learned in the past, my failures as well, as you said, and these bits of my experience help other people. So, as you said, if I didn't have that, probably I don't know where my outlet would be.
So Martin, let me just come in there, just because I
Yeah,
want to acknowledge you, because
yeah,
what you shared there and your transition, because all of us, we all go through challenging periods within our lives.
yeah,
And I want to acknowledge you for what you've done, where you've been, where you've come from, and where you're at now. And what you're doing
yeah,
now, you're making a difference to people every day. You're having these kind of conversations with people every day. So
yeah,
that in itself is extraordinary, and it is a success. So you
yeah,
mentioned success. So then everyone listening, what is success? What
yeah,
is
yeah.
it? What does it mean? It's like it's different for us all. And
Yes, that's right, Billy. Yeah, that's
success
right.
in a field as an athlete, let's talk about success in boxing. It's never enough.
Yeah,
Success, what does it mean? It's never enough. It's never enough. You mentioned it, the way that you speak is like you wasn't enough. You wasn't as successful as me, and I wasn't as successful as him, and it's never ending and it don't stop. And
yes,
it's like, what is enough? And you
yes,
are a success. But I think for us all, for the everyone listening, you are a success.
yeah,
If you look
yeah,
at your life, go and find evidence of you being a success, because it's
yeah,
there somewhere. You're a
yeah, yeah,
success at something. And a
yes,
lot of us, we beat ourselves up because we're lacking in something. We are not enough. I could do more. I should be better. And
yeah,
that's not a great place. That voice in our heads, that's the voice to look at.
yeah,
And that's the
yeah,
conversation to be having with ourselves, and get outside help to do and change that. Because is
mm,
that voice, does it empower you? Does it inspire you to move forward to where you want to get to what you're doing? And
right.
whatever that success looks like.
That's
It's a,
true,
it's
Billy.
a made up thing. And you know what success, what we do is we compare success to others. And what we do is we compare upwards. We always compare upwards. We don't ever compare downwards, do we?
True,
We always
true,
compare
true.
upwards. We look at, oh, they're more successful than we are. I'm not enough. I can't get to there. Then it don't have you feel good.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's important to, where are you comparing yourself to?
yeah.
Because
That's
it's
true.
made up. It's a made up thing. Just get present to what you're up to. And if you're moving towards whatever you're looking to achieve in life, because it's the future that you're living into will determine how you feel in the present moment. It's so important. And when I
Right.
retired from boxing, I didn't have a future that I was living into. So I was depressed. I was
Yes.
mentally breaking down because I was going for an identity crisis. I didn't have a future. But when I started to do the work on myself, I started to unravel parts of myself to then create and invent a new future, which is what
Yeah,
you've done, which is what
yeah,
I've done, which is what we can all do. And it's all
yeah.
about the future that we're living into gives us a way of being. Because I'm
Mm,
experiencing life as a 10 out of 10. Now that's available for everybody, but not
yeah.
many people can say they're a 10 out of 10. So when I'm
True.
in that conversation all the time, and some people are 4 or 5 out of 10. So if you're listening to this, just let me ask you that question. Let's just take a moment. So where are you on a scale of 0 to 10? So 0 being bang, knocked out on the canvas, 10 feeling like the champion of the world. So if you look at your life just as a whole, you'll come up with a number. So
Yeah.
wherever your number is, there'll be room for improvement. But to get to a 10 out of 10, we have to look at what's in the way for us to be a 10 out of 10, because it's a feeling. And that's the work that I do these days with people, getting them
Mm,
to unravel, dismantle what's in the way so they can experience life as a 10 out of 10. And life
yeah.
ain't perfect. It's hard. And boxing's a great metaphor for life because it hurts. You box
Absolutely.
you,
Absolutely.
it hits your back.
Absolutely.
It's painful.
Absolutely.
And to succeed in it, and just to survive in life, it's a
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah. 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 Right. You know what, Billy? Metaphor, that word metaphor. You know, everything what you just said there, I live my life via the metaphors of boxing. I live my life day by day. Day by day is what I call around. Okay. And
Yeah.
we get knocks, we take the body shots. You know what I mean? Things happen on a day to day. Okay. And sometimes we're in front and then we take a knock again. We have to get back up, we take the knee. We have to fire back sometimes. And as you said, everything to do with what you just said, my life is based around the metaphor of boxing. One of the things what we have to be is mentally and physically fit. Okay. We have to listen to normally our own mind, and we have to normally listen to somebody else. Somebody else is somebody who you sometimes have to find, who's going to inspire you, motivate you, okay, give you the wise words. Luckily, you had your father and a coach, a brilliant coach like myself. I had my father and also a lot of good coaches and my siblings as well. So, you know, and cousins and etc. to always keep me inspired, motivated, and always giving good words of encouragement to keep me on the right track and keep me inspired. Okay, so everything you said, Billy, is a metaphor, and it comes from boxing, definitely. So, Billy, I want to just ask you a few questions about your boxing career, okay? If that's all right.
Please.
What was your total career professional fights? Okay. I'm not bothered about the wins and losses, but you can put them in there if you want to. And also your amateur career as well. Because I know you was a
So
champion as an amateur as well.
yeah, in total, I had 138 fights.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot,
Wow.
right? That's a lot. That's a
That's a
lot.
lot
That's
of
a
fear.
lot.
That's a lot of fear, right? That's a lot
So
of preparation.
I stepped up into the ring
Yeah.
and I fought 138 times. Now, 45 of those were as a professional. And I
Right.
won the British, the Commonwealth, the European, and eventually I won the World Championships on my fourth attempt.
Fourth
So as
attempt.
an amateur, on my fourth attempt, so I did all the amateur work, won national
Yeah.
championships, boxed for England, had a great amateur career, and turned professional at 21. And then I had a 10-year career as a pro, winning those titles. That's it. Ended up in winning the IBO title on my fourth attempt, and that was the career that I had. It was amazing,
So Billy, can you
and it
go
wasn't
back to
enough,
your was it enough? Was
and
it
it
enough for
wasn't
Billy?
enough, and it
Okay,
ended
okay.
too soon. So I've been through all of that.
Right,
I lost my
okay.
world title on my first defense. I ended
Wow.
up in hospital when I won the title. When I won the title, I ended up in hospital. Had my first defense too soon, got knocked out, lost my title. That was when I decided to retire from boxing because I know people who have been killed in the ring, and I
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah,
guys have
yeah.
been permanently brain damaged.
Right.
So that was fear. I feared for my life because I would go into the ring prepared to die, kill or be killed.
Okay. Yep. I understand that. So Billy, take me back to two things really. Two things what I want to take you back. See if you can remember. Can you remember what year you made your actual debut or your first contest as a professional and where?
I think that was at the York Hall with Bethnal Green in 1991. against a
1990.
French guy called 1991, I think. It's 90 or 90. I think it was 91 against a French guy
I'll
called
make it
Pierre
90.
Monet.
That's right,
90,
yeah.
okay. That's okay.
And that-
1990. There we go.
okay, now how did that actually feel? Obviously, taking the vest off, going professional, first fight as a professional. How did that actually feel? How did you manage your feelings, your maybe feelings of fear, your butterflies, going to a place where you've never been before, i.e., turning professional?
It was it was a natural progression. So I had
Right.
good people around me. I had good management, good trainers, like you mentioned. Good, very lucky to have a great family supporting me, and it was just a natural progression. There was obviously you got every time you step into the ring, there's fear, there's anxiety, there's got all that to deal with. But it was just such a natural progress for me. It's just natural for me to do, and that was the road that I was on, the path that I was taking, and I was eager and I was hungry to succeed, and that's what I
Yeah.
did.
Okay. 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 And you won the fight, as I remember. You won that fight.
Yeah,
I remember. Okay. And the other thing, what comes to mind, on the 24th of the second, which would have been February, okay, in 1993, you had your first defeat, okay, against an opponent. I don't know if you can remember him.
Paul Burke. Yeah, of course. Never
Albert,
forget
yeah.
him. How can you
and
forget
the,
something like that?
the good thing about it, you avenged it quite quickly, okay. But I mean, I lost the fight, and I remember how disappointed I really felt, and how low and how depressed I was for about 3 days. Okay, so how did you manage that disappointment? How did you manage that
But
disappointment?
so I managed that particular disappointment because I got stopped on cuts.
Yeah,
So I had cuts. So the referee stopped the fight. So there was that part of losing the fight. I felt that it wasn't a bigger loss as it could have been because it was
yeah,
cut. I had good management, so they got me a rematch fairly quickly, and then I
yeah,
regained the title. So I always knew there was more to come. There was more to for me to express.
yeah,
And I always knew that I could mix it with anyone in the world. I had a chance of winning any fight. So I always entered in the ring believing I could win.
right,
So
okay,
then overcoming setbacks, defeat, adversity, that's a challenge for us all in life. So
true,
how do we go
true,
about that? It's
right,
about, as I mentioned earlier, it's about the future that you're living into as you feel a certain way. Now, if you get beaten, you experience a setback or a bit of adversity, the future is occurring very differently. So it's overcoming thoughts and the feelings that we attach to the loss, to the defeat, to whatever's
right,
going on in your life. It's what we attach to it, the meaning we attach to it.
yeah,
That's what has us deflated, upset, defeated. It's the
mm,
meaning that we attach to whatever situation or circumstances may be arising in our lives. So you have to
mm,
see through that, see through it.
okay. So what's your belief concept on the fact that when you do go through that loss, it's about how quickly you can learn and move on from it, rather than making it be somewhat what lingers up in your thought process and your mind.
Yeah,
That
a lot of us get stuck in the past.
yes,
So a lot of we experience something negative or a loss or whatever it may be, and we've all been guilty of it. We all sort of look
yeah,
back in the past and we kind of get stuck in there.
yeah,
So that doesn't help either. So what we need to
right,
do,
okay,
we need to draw a line in the sand, like leave the past in the past, take the lessons. Now,
yeah,
if you need to go and clean up any mess that you've made, you've got to go and do that.
yeah,
Go and do whatever you need to do. Have conversations that you need to have. Get everything completed, everything settled and done with, and then you move forward, creating and designing the future. But we got to keep, that's the thing that's so key, is just keep creating the new future and don't
yes,
focus on the past. Because if you're
Right.
always
Okay.
looking backwards, it ain't going to be pretty. You're going to crash. You got to look
Yeah.
forward. You got
You
to
know
look
what?
forward.
Yeah. Absolutely, Bill. You know,
Eyes on the eyes on the prize. You got to have eyes on the prize, and the prize is always in the future.
yeah.
But
You
we've
know
only
what?
got now. We're living in the moment. It's all about now, but we've got to
Yeah.
have a future that we're living into. Eyes on that future prize and keep drawing it, keep stepping towards it, keep moving towards the prize and
Yeah. Yeah.
enjoy the
Yeah.
moment because all we got is the moment by moment by moment. And the choices that we're making, win or lose, you got to choose. It's
True.
so
True, Billy.
important. Choose
Somebody.
choices that we're making. Be conscious of
Somebody.
day by
Somebody.
day.
Yeah. True, Bill. True. Somebody once told me, right, that if you keep looking backwards, you're gonna forget how beautiful the view is in front of you, or you won't know what the next challenge is in front of you. So if you keep looking behind, as you said, you're going to get struck by something what you don't see in front of you, or you're going to miss out on something what is beautiful in front of you. You're going to miss out on. So
Yeah,
that's
for
that's that's
sure,
great what you say. So
for
Billy, you
sure.
you you said you had failures going for the world title. Can you explain that a little bit more before you really, got to the top of the mountain?
Yeah, so I had an amazing start to my professional career. I had 17 fights undefeated. I then
Wow.
challenged for the British and Commonwealth Championships at the Royal Albert Hall. I won that, and then I
Yeah.
lost it, and then I regained it, and then I was moving up the European rankings. I was
Yeah.
moving up as I was moving up the European rankings. I was moving up the world rankings. So I had great management, and after having some defences of the British and Commonwealth Championships and moving up those rankings, I got a shot at the world title. I fought for the world title in Las Vegas, the
Yeah.
fight capital of the world. I'm just a kid from Luton Town, and I am top of the bill in Las Vegas. It's like
Wow. The lights.
Luton, Luton Town, right? So a lot of you would know of Luton Town. It's a bit can be a little bit rough around the edges. So it was a
Yeah.
big deal. It was a big deal to
Yeah.
be top of the bill at, at
Las
the MGM
Vegas.
Grand in Las Vegas. The MGM Grand at the time was the biggest hotel in the world. So that was my first attempt. So I got stopped on cuts. So they stopped the fight. The referee stopped the fight, and
Who was that
my
against,
dream
Billy?
of
Who was that against? Who was that
that was
against? That
against
fight.
Rafael Ruelas, a
Right.
Mexican guy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's for the IBF title. So come
That
back
was a
from
good
Vegas.
fight as well. That was a good fight. I watched that fight. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, stopped on cut. So come back, get back to work, and obviously, as I've just challenged for the world title, I'm now highly ranked in Europe. I'm ranked number one in Europe. So I went
Wow.
over to Spain and I challenged I was the number one challenger. I went over to Spain, challenged, and I won the European title
Yeah.
in an epic contest. It was an epic contest. Went 10 rounds, and I brought the title back home, defended it 3 times, which moved me back up the world rankings. So then I'm
Right.
now ranked number one by the WBC. So I got a shot at the WBC title at Wembley Arena. I'm boxing a guy called Stevie Johnson. Goes 12 rounds. I lose on points. Now there's a lot of controversy after this fight because he failed the drug test.
Wow.
He failed the drug test, but he got away with it. He got off with it on a technicality.
Right.
So, have you ever felt defeated, disappointed, let down? I was so pissed off.
Right.
He'd got away with it, and that was it. So I went back to Luton with more stitches in his hair. So I got another cut across the bridge of my nose, and
Yeah.
he went back to America with his world title. So that was my second defeat. So then, cut long story short, I got another shot at the WBU title against Colin Dunn, which was another
Colin Dunn.
epic contest. Yeah, it was an epic
Remember,
contest. Went
remember that
12
one?
rounds, and I lost on a split decision. Could have went either way. So again,
Right.
I lost the fight. So close. So that was 3 times. So then go back to the drawing board, sit down with the team, and keep creating the future. So then I got another shot at the world title, and that's the title that I won, the IBO title. I won that on points, and
Yeah.
that was in a tough contest as well. So I come through that
Yeah.
one, and I
It was
achieved
that
my dream.
against. It was that against Billy.
That was against a guy called Newton Villarreal from Colombia.
Another brilliant fight.
So
Another
that so that
brilliant
was
fight
that so
they
that
did.
so that was an achievement. It was I'd achieved it, and it was
Yeah,
an incredible moment. Then what happened was after the fight, we was on the way to the after fight party, and I didn't feel very well. So I started to get a bit dizzy, started to feel
yeah,
sick. So I pulled the car over. I threw up. I was finally sick. So the alarm bells rang, and we went straight to hospital. Missed the party. Everyone got really drunk without me. Everyone's going, "Where's Billy? Where's Billy?" And I'm in hospital
yeah.
for 2 days. So that
Wow.
wasn't quite as sweet as what I thought it was.
Right. Okay.
Right. So life doesn't always work out the way that you want it to. It doesn't always
Yeah.
go according to plan, does it?
Right. True. True. So, Billy, obviously, once you got to the top of the mountain, IBO world champion, how was you actually received in your hometown of Luton? And the people, the people wanted to help you in the past, your old trainers at your amateur club, okay, and your friends. How was you received?
Amazing. It was an amazing achievement for myself, my fans, my family, all of the people that you mentioned, and for the
Yeah.
town itself.
Yeah.
I've always been very well received in my hometown. I love my hometown of Luton Town. And it's the
Yeah.
people that I've grown up with, the people that I know. Luton Town's a very special town.
Right. Okay. Can I share something with you? You know,
Please.
I'm going to share this story with you before we get onto your book. Years ago, I used to go to Luton, right? I used to go to Luton to do music. There was a club called the Five-O. I
Yes.
don't know if you remember the Five-O club. It was a
Right.
Caribbean
Yeah.
club,
Yes.
right? And I went there one night to perform. I don't know if you know a guy called Robbie Lyle. His name then was Crucial Robbie. Okay, worked for
Yes.
BBC
Yes.
Bedford. He started
I
now
know.
an amazing Arsenal TV channel. It's from Luton, right?
Yes. Yes.
That particular night, I met a girl, okay, who had a family called the Savages.
Yes.
She
I
had a
know them as
brother.
well.
She had a brother. He used to go around cleaning the windows in Luton, the shops, the cars. He used to clean windows. He used to do boxing. And one night, he took me to Luton Irish Boxing Club, right?
Boom.
And I tell
Yeah.
you what I remember, you was everything about that club, right? I remember going there. I remember going in that amateur club, what you used to be an amateur at. And I actually went to Luton Irish Club. That's something what I won't
Wow.
forget. Yes. So you know the Savages. I've been to your
Yes.
actual club.
Wow.
Even
How
though I went
amazing.
once. Yeah. So that's
I
something
didn't
what
know that.
I want to
I didn't know that. I didn't
yeah,
know that.
I want to share that with you. So Billy, tell
Brilliant.
me about this amazing book. This amazing book. I've read it page to page, and I also use it as reference. When I'm looking for something to read or scan through, this is a good book to read. Whether you're from a boxing background or not, this is something what I would advise every male and female who's on a journey. Okay, and what part of their life they are at, it doesn't really matter. But this is a book what I would encourage a lot of people to read. Billy, tell me about the book.
So the book come around as I was evolving and delving deeper into myself.
Yeah.
As I mentioned about the transition from being a fighter to life in the real world, which I struggled with, I went through depression. I had a
Wow.
mental breakdown. I went through a
Wow.
divorce. I've been bankrupt. I've lost everything. I've
Wow.
had my home repossessed. So
Wow.
the reason I called it Man Up, which is the title's not politically correct. It's
Yeah.
not palatable for the corporate world, but I was a man down, so I had to man up. So that's the
Right.
reason I called it Man Up. So Man Up, it really conjures up something for many, many people. And it gets criticized. It gets it gets a little bit of bad press because the world that we're living in now, talking about manning up, we have a view of what it is, but it's not that. It's
Yeah.
about manning up is it's not about being aggressive. It's not about being domineering and selfish. It's about embracing our whole true selves as a man. I'm a
Right.
peaceful warrior. I'm a peaceful warrior. I
Yeah.
train to fight, but I never
Yeah.
fight. But I have
Yeah.
the ability to protect, to defend, to survive in this life. And it's based upon, I don't know if you can see that, everybody, about a success model that I created. And it's the
Right.
positive cycle that had me become a world champion.
Right.
It's about
What page is that
discipline,
on, Billy?
dedication, and desire. It's throughout the book. They're
Yeah.
all throughout. That image is throughout the book. But that's what had me become a world champion. But then when I went through my tough time, I went through the negative cycle. I went through
Right.
self-doubt. I went through distraction, and I was disappointed. I was depressed. I was broken. And
Mm.
I put this model together when I was working on myself to really get clear about what had me be a champion in the past and how I can utilize the learnings that I've got and how I can support others in the process. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
program, I've got a program called the 12 round mental boxing experience. So the book's got 12 rounds. So there's not chapters, there's rounds. So we go through the success model in each round. And that's the program. So I work with small groups of people. I work with individuals. I work with women. And it's a
Yeah.
challenging, it's a confronting program. I've had people enter into the 12 rounds and not finish it. I've had people bail out because it's confronting.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's boxing's the metaphor, but it's challenging.
Right. Question, Bill. Is a lot of the time when people don't make, let's say, the 12 rounds, is it because they feel that they're getting exposed? You know, you're calling them out on the bullshit. Are you asking them to do tasks what they can do, but they don't want to do to become better on the other side? You know what I mean?
That's
And, and,
exactly that's
and it's
exactly
just
it.
like, again, Billy, it's boxing again, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
how many fighters have you come across? Okay, who were very showy, talk it, but the reality is they are full of you know what.
It's having the heart. You've got to have a heart. The
Yeah,
heart of a will. You got to have the will, the heart, the courage
yeah,
to win in this game of life, to succeed. We talked
yeah,
about success. To succeed in life, it takes heart, it takes courage to fulfill on what it is that you want for yourself in your life.
yeah,
So as a boxer, as an individual in life, because we get confronted, we get stopped. So I'm here to support people where they get stopped and
right,
look at how we can maneuver around and over and through the barriers that stop us. And some of
right,
them, they don't even know they're there. And the ones that bail out, they're not willing to look at and consider what's stopping them. They just bail
right,
out. And that might be a pattern in their lives. They might do
right,
that every time they come up against it. They might bail out because it's what they do with me is what they're doing in life. And if
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not challenging and confronting themselves to push through the limitations, then they're doing that everywhere else in life.
yeah. How you do one thing
Because
is
it's,
how you do everything, right? How you do one
yeah,
thing is
it's
how you do
confronting.
everything. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So they say, yeah, it's
That's
like that.
amazing. That's amazing, Billy. What you're actually saying there. So normally, when people get coached by you, what is generally the outcomes? What they normally get from being coached by yourself, Billy.
So the
You sort of
outcomes
stuff
are,
is-
so the questions would be, is would you like to win more often? Would you like to experience more success? Would you
yeah.
like to be able to punch above your weight in all that you do? So these are the outcomes.
And most
So
people
that's
are going
what
to
you'll
say
do.
yes. Yeah, most
Yeah.
people
So
are going to say yes.
that's available. Do you want to win more often? Experience
Yeah,
more success, punch above your weight, right?
definitely.
So if you want more of that, then let's engage in what the program looks like. because that's the
Mm,
program is an access to that. They're the outcomes, and we do the work, and they create what that looks like, and then we succeed on it together. I'm in their corner. I'm like, that image you're going to put up. Let's get that image up where I'm in the corner.
right.
And that this is a great point. Case in point
Yep.
about
Okay, here
having
we are.
having somebody in your corner. So this is me when I won the British
So
Commonwealth
there's
title
you.
at the Royal Albert Hall.
We got you. There's Mickey Duff there, right? Mickey Duff. Is that right?
Denny Mancini. Yeah, Denny
Danny
Mancini.
Mancini, Cotsman. Yeah. Okay.
And so this picture represents me being in people's corner. I've been in the corner. I've been coached. I've been supported. I've been guided to the top. So I'm that for others. So I'm in people's corner. So that's what that image represents for me and for others. It's about
Yeah.
having a fighter in your corner, fighting alongside you, with you, and for you,
Right.
and guiding you through whatever the limitations and stops are. Because we all need help. We all need
Yeah.
support. We
Yeah.
can't do it on our own. It's impossible.
Yeah.
To
Yeah. That's
get
true.
somebody in your corner, they can read books. That's like a corner man. It's get somebody supporting you and guiding you to succeed
Yeah.
on what you want for yourself in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what that picture is.
So Billy, how long does your coaching program normally last for?
I've been with guys 4 years, but the
Yeah.
program that we're talking about, that's 12 weeks. That's
12
the
weeks.
initial program. So it's 12 weeks. We do 12 rounds over 12 weeks, which is a
Right.
great
Okay.
start. And then I generally work with people after the 12 weeks also. Don't have to, but it's a great, because transformation will happen within those 12 weeks if you're willing to do the work. But to
Right.
maintain it, this is a journey forever.
Right. Okay.
And to
So
win more often it takes time over time.
I love that sentence here. Win more often. Win more often. So what you're saying in that sentence is win more often. That you're not always going to win, but you're going to win more
Absolutely. Absolutely.
often. That is
It's
brilliant.
impossible to win. Yeah. You can't win every time in life.
Yeah.
Life's going to hit you back. You're going to feel defeated.
Yeah.
So winning more often, if we win more often, more of the time, that's a success.
Definitely. Definitely. So Billy, another question for you. What type of music do you like?
I
What do you like
love,
to do? What do you like to do to relax?
I meditate to relax.
Yeah.
So I do guided meditations. I listen to music and meditate. So that
What
type
type
of
of
music,
music?
just how do you describe that? What genre is that type of music? The meditation music.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
very, yeah, it's that kind of vibe, right? So there's that
Yeah.
kind of, which lifts my spirits as I'm meditating, because I want to get
Yeah.
into my head and out of my head and put energy. I'm raising my frequency. So I like music that raises my energy, raises my frequency, my vibration. So that's what I get
Lovely.
from meditation. So music
Right.
does that.
Right.
Music plays a big part of that. And then I like soulful house music. I like reggae music.
Right.
I like all types of
Oh,
music.
you
I
like
like
reggae?
classical
Okay.
music. I like the cello. I like classical music. It all depends on what mood I'm in. I think
Yeah.
music is so important to stir us and just to generate feelings.
Right. Right. Yeah. Music definitely sets the pace for me. Definitely.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
oh,
think it's so good for us, so good for our health,
definitely.
our
Definitely.
mental health.
What are your thoughts on obviously what you listen to as well, i.e. the music what you listen to? I'm noticing now that I'm listening a lot of conscious music, not just listening to the beat no more. I'm listening to a lot of songs what are actually kind of educating me. Okay, and a lot of songs what are bringing a lot of,
What the
as you said,
lyrics? What the
a lot of
lyrics? Are you
peace. Yeah,
listening more for the
yeah.
lyrics?
Listening
The
more for the
word.
lyrics, listening to the content of the song, rather than just listening to the beat and dancing to something what's quite
Yep,
derogatory. But it's bringing also a certain kind of peace and vibration to my heart and my mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hear that. I hear
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
hear
that's
that.
great. Yeah, yeah, the music brings life into your heart. It's the our mind and our bodies and heart. If our heart and brain, if we can get them lined up in coherence, if the frequency can connect our hearts with our minds, that's a
Yeah.
great frequency to be operating from. Then if we go
Right.
about our
Right.
lives at that level of frequency raised, and then the emotions are raised, that spirit is lifted, and those good feeling thoughts, then
Mm,
that's the frequency that we're putting out there. Then we're going to
yeah.
attract
Yeah.
more of that. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
being who you're being.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Billy? Today's been great. I've been really enjoyed speaking to you. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you two more questions. Okay. One of them is, do you keep up with the current fights in boxing
Not
and
really. Not
yeah?
really.
Is there a reason
I
for that
I
or
I'm aware of what's going on, and I do watch the big fights, and I'm in groups of with boxers, and I've kind of when I left the sport over 20 years ago,
yeah?
I embarked on a different journey.
Right.
But obviously boxing is still within me. It's part of who I am, and it's part of
Absolutely.
my identity.
Yeah.
And I do keep an eye on it, but I've decided to choose a different path.
Okay. Okay.
That's what
Okay.
I've
Okay.
done. So
Right. Okay.
I do like to I do like to keep an eye on what's going on.
Yeah.
And I watch
And
the
I'm
big
sure
fights.
you like to watch it. Did you watch the Buatsu fight last week?
No,
Joshua
no,
Buatsu? No? Against Dan
no, I didn't
Aziz.
see that. Yeah, no, I
Okay.
didn't
Well,
see
yeah. It
it.
was
So you're more into it than I am.
I don't know, Bill. I don't know. As like yourself, I like to watch the big fights. Okay. I don't go searching for it no more. I
Right.
used to. I'm from back in the day where I had all the VHS videos, all the fights, what was on the BBC, all the ABA finals, all the Aaron Carpenter, you know,
Yeah.
British boxing fights. And one day I just I wouldn't say fell out of love. I just thought, this is taking up too much space. The DVDs were coming out then, and I thought I can put them onto DVD. And I just sold them. I just sold the whole lot of them. So no,
Right.
I still like watching them, but I don't. If you said to me who is the champion in this division and that division, in mainly the lower weights, I wouldn't really know. I wouldn't
Right.
really know. From middleweight upward and welterweight upwards, I would really know. Or featherweight upwards, I would know. But I don't follow it
Yeah.
like how I used to. So Billy, I want 5 tips. If you can give me 5 tips, what you would give. And
Five
again,
tips.
bear in mind that everybody's on a different journey. 5 tips what will help somebody today. And again, bear in mind, everybody's on a different journey, so it may not appeal to some people, but it may appeal to others. So 5 tips what you might be able to reel off from the top of your head.
I'm going to give you some of the winning traits of a world champion. These are the winning traits.
Yeah,
So, right, one of them is be aware of the choices that you're making. Be consciously aware of what you're choosing to do. That's a tip. But here's the punchline: win or lose, you choose. I mentioned it earlier.
win or
So
lose, you
be
choose.
aware of the choices that you're making. Win or lose, you choose. Right? That's one.
Yeah, yeah,
Here's another one. Have the courage to take a risk.
yeah.
Have the courage to take a risk. Here's the punchline: KO fear.
Right, right.
Right?
Okay.
KO fear. Here's another one: never give up. That's a trait, a winning trait of a
Yeah,
champion, is you never give up. You may not get what you want first, second, third time rounds, but keep fighting for what's truly important to you. Here's the punchline: fight for what you want.
yeah,
Never give up, fight for what you want. And we talked about this one. Focus on the future, not the past. Focus on the future, not the past. Here's the
Brilliant.
punchline. Roll with the punches. Roll
Roll
with
with
the
the punch.
punches, because you're not gonna win every time. Winning more often, right? Here's
Yeah.
another one. Be resilient in the face of adversity, setbacks, and defeat. Here's the punchline. Take it on the chin.
Take on the chin.
Take it on
Yeah.
the chin. Be aware of and focus on what's in your control and what's not in your control. And don't
Right.
focus on the stuff that's not in our control. Because
Right.
if you watch the news, you get sucked into that and you get focused on that. It's going to be upsetting. So
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
aware of and focus on what you can control and be resilient in the face of it. Take it on the
Right.
chin. So that's 5, but I'm going to give you another one. Be
Bonus.
willing to look at a bonus. I'm going to give you two bonus
2 bonus.
traits. Be willing to look at things differently, right?
Yeah.
Be willing to look at things from different angles, different perspectives. Jab and move. That's the
Love that. Love
punchline.
that.
Jab
Love that.
and move. Jab and move. Look at things from differently.
Love
And
that.
that's what's going to have you win more often. Here's the last one. Be responsible for who you are. Own your life.
Own it.
Own
Yeah.
it. Don't be a victim of your
Whoa.
past.
Whoa.
Don't be a victim of your
Yes.
situations or circumstances. Own your life. Here's the
Preach, Billy man.
punchline. Box clever.
Box clever.
Box clever. Own your life. And that's it.
Brilliant.
That's 7. That's 7 I've just given you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Brilliant words here, Bill. Right. What I want to also do, I'm going to give away a pair of gloves today. All right.
Right?
I'm going to give away a
Good for
pair of
you.
gloves. So what I want you to do, Bill, is come up with a question. Okay. If you can put that out there, come up with a question, and I'm going to come up with a question. There's going to be 2 questions, and obviously the first person what answers it and has a tiebreaker with it, they'll get it. Lovely pair of gloves what I've got for them. So first question,
Good for
Bill,
you.
can be to do with your boxing past, something what they might have to
What year did
research.
I what year did I win the world title?
Okay, so that's the first question. In what year did Billy Sh-werr win his first world title? Okay, that will be all over the internet. So that's a question and answer what will be out there. It's for you to research it. And the second question what I'm going to put out there is I'm making another 2 questions. What amateur club did Billy Sh-werr box for? Okay, that's gone in the video today. We've answered that one today. Okay, and the third one, what year and where was the first Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier fight? Okay, so those are the questions. The person will win a pair of brand new boxing gloves. Okay, courtesy of the High Performance Podcast. Yeah. Right, today, Billy, I want to say again, thank you very much for blessing me on this program today and sharing a lot of wisdom and a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation. As I said, Billy is the former IBO World Boxing Champion, okay, British, Commonwealth, and European. And let me say that again. Remember, a lot of fighters jumped the gun. Okay, Billy went through each stage of how it used to be. British, Commonwealth, European, then world. Okay, and with each stage, I know Billy would have been learning, okay, and developing, okay, and having setbacks, as is talked about today, before he reached the ultimate top of the mountain called success. Billy, trust me, thank you very much for being on the live with me. And as I said, a lot of people get a lot from this. Is there anything what you would like to say as well, Billy, on the outro?
Yeah, thank you, Martin. It's great to be here with you. And for everybody listening, we're going to give my book away. You can get my book. There'll be a link in the show notes somewhere
Yeah.
where you can go and pick up my book for free as a gift from the show. So you can have that as a gift. and reach out on socials. Let's get connected. Let's talk. It's good to talk. And I wish you every success that you wish for yourselves. May all your dreams come true.
Right, Billy, if anybody wants to contact you, reference to your coaching program, your 12-week coaching program, just imagine, guys, you can have a change mentally and physically in 12 weeks. 12 weeks, okay? You live a life, okay? Generally, if they say we live a life of 3 scores and 10, okay, which is 70, 12 weeks, you can make a transition and transformation in your life on Billy's program. How do we get in touch with you, Billy?
I have a website. Go to billyshwer.com and you can
Right.
connect
Okay.
with me there. You can message me from there.
Okay.
Or I'm on socials. LinkedIn is the main platform that I frequent. I'm on there
Yeah.
mainly.
Okay. All right, Bill. Thank you very much. And definitely later on in the year, I'm going to touch base with you again. Definitely.
We'll have a rematch. Let's have a rematch.
We'll have a rematch. I like that. I like that. I wonder who won this one
See
then.
ya.
Nice one then, Billy. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye
Thank
for
you.
now.